One of the most common questions I get is,
why should I even pay to learn Webflow? There's free alternatives, so why spend money on it?
and that's actually a pretty good question. I was asking that question myself before making a Webflow course. So in this video, I want to address it, and I promise you by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. Stay tuned. Hey friends, what is up? My name is Ron Segal and welcome back to Flux. So over 2 years ago in 2018, I made the first version of the Webflow Masterclass. And before making it, I was also asking myself, why should I even make this? Like, the Webflow University is pretty awesome. Why should anybody pay for something like this? And actually it's been you, the audience, that it had to explain to me what are the reasons for me to create actually a paid course on Webflow. And after understanding that reason, actually kind of resonates to me, and it started sounding like clients asking me,
hey Ron, why should we pay you thousands of dollars to design our website? We can use Wix and do it for free ourselves.
And I would always explain to them, yes, of course, you can do it for free, but you're not going to get the same thing, right? So you just need to understand what you're getting in when you're going to do it yourself versus when you're paying a professional to help you do that. And I actually think that it's basically pretty much the same explanation when it comes to learning something on your own. So the first thing to understand is, free isn't really free. You're going to invest something back into it, whether it is your time or your efforts or your frustrations. And so let's dive into actually why would you consider even paying for something when you have a free alternative. So the first one is, as we just said, is time, right? You want to pay somebody to save time. For me personally, when I learned Webflow, there was no alternative. There was no paid option. There was no Webflow course back in the time. And it took me about 4 years of using it daily and trying to hack around and watching videos and learning until I came down to actually understanding what I'm doing, how should I do this correctly, and how to work this thing, because there is a learning curve here. And so just trying to work around reading different tutorials, watching all these different videos, watching around the forums, trying to brainstorm and solve problems. Taking all of that knowledge and compiling it in a way that is very clear and saves your time and answers all your questions, that might be something that you're willing to pay. Maybe you don't want to spend 4 years or 2 years or 50 hours or so much just diving on your own and trying to figure things out on your own. Maybe you want someplace where you can have everything organized and have all your question answers. And that kind of leads into the second phase, which is personal assistance. Maybe when you're learning on your own, if you can't understand something, if you can't figure something out, well, you can write on the forum and hopefully, or maybe in a Facebook group or something like that, and hopefully somebody will answer to you. But when you're choosing a paid program, at least our own, you know that you're going to have a professional making sure that you get answer very fast, usually within a few hours, explaining to you what's the problem, taking a look inside your own project and helping you solve your problems. So that is saving you time, also saving you, the frustration of not being understand why can't I do what I want to do. So saving time, personal assistant. The third thing is, when you're actually paying for a paid program, you're actually buying, on top of the learning, you're also buying yourself into a network of other professionals also learning this tool right now, also working on similar Webflow projects, where you can learn from each other, when you can make friendship, where you can start sharing projects, sharing tips. So actually the added value of becoming part of a professional community of other Webflow developers is something that is actually worth a lot of money, and a lot of our students have found projects, have found collaborations and gigs throughout these network, and that has, paid itself multiple times over the amount of the course. So that thing alone is obviously worth the money for them. And the fourth thing is, actually, I say this a lot to freelancers who ask me, well, what's different about me? And I always tell them, nobody else is you, right? When you're working with your customer, with your clients, the feeling of working with you is something that nobody else, right? They can work with other designers, but it's not going to be like, working with you, because you are special. You might be fun, funny, great person to work with. And all of these things are unique things about you. that makes the client want to pay so that it can get that experience with you. And I think the same is, with learning online or with learning offline as well, right? You want to learn with somebody specific that you feel that you actually enjoy learning from. So I'll just give you an example. Me and my wife right now, we're doing an online parenting course, which is, it's great. The content is great. However, the teacher in that course, and I'm not going to mention the name here, the teacher has a pretty annoying way of speaking. And although what she says is very, very smart, I find it really painful to sit through the lectures, and it pisses me off. So I'm not having fun learning, right? And so I would rather pay a little bit more, for example, and this is a paid program, right? But I would rather pay a little bit more and learn from somebody that I feel great learning from and I want to spend time with them. And in that sense, if you have been watching my YouTube videos and you enjoy watching them and you enjoy hearing me explain concepts to you, then you already know what you're getting when you're paying for one of our programs. And that is something that obviously you can't get anywhere else, right? You can get something different. There is no, again, I say a lot of times that I want to make the best, right? The best design education. But to be honest, best is pretty much subjective, right? What is best for me might not be the best for you or for somebody else, because everybody has different preferences, right? It's true for fashion, for food, for anything, and for online education as well, right? What is going to be the best for you is not going to be the best for somebody else. But if you enjoy these types of video and if you want to learn with me, this is something that you can't get anywhere else. So this experience is something that perhaps for you, definitely not for anybody, right? For a lot of people, it's not going to be the best solution. For a lot of people, maybe the free alternative is the best solution. Maybe they have more free time than they have money, and that's fair. I don't judge them just as much as I don't judge, the clients that doesn't have money to work with me, and that's fine. But if you are somebody that values this experience and you want to spend time with me learning from our programs, then I think that you're going to find that it's well worth your effort. So let me know in the comments below if you found this helpful. Do you actually change your perspective? Not about just our programs and Webflow, just in general. You'll never ask that question like, why should I do something if there's a free alternative? Right, there is a free alternative, but it's different. You're not going to get the same thing. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you're interested in learning Webflow with us, the link is going to be below this video, and I'll see you inside.